Coleman. We pray that you will be inspired, blessed, and encouraged by what you hear weekly as you tune into Amazing Grace on the Faith Broadcast. Now your host, Tamala Coleman.
Thank you for tuning in to Amazing Grace with Tamala Coleman. All praises to God, for this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. And if you're tuning in today to Amazing Grace, I want you to know that this show is about encouraging, inspiring through testimonies, relationships, and most importantly, the love of God. I am so excited to bring on special guests to speak about their trials, their struggles, their deliverance, and their breakthroughs, and informative topics. I am truly honored to bring shows that will change, inspire, and motivate you each and every week. Well, tonight, listeners, my guest tonight is an extraordinary young lady with an extraordinary and exceptional testimony. Listeners, you are in for a treat and a blessing on tonight. My guest is the founder and CEO, keynote speaker for Limitless Medical Laws. She has been featured in over 30 media outlets. She's actually been featured in the Palm Beach Post, the Sun Centennial, the Town Crier, ESPN, numerous magazine covers, speaking events, and podcasts, telling her story and encouraging others with her powerful testimony. Praise God. My guest is an A-star athlete who went from a brain surgery survivor to a young entrepreneur. That is so amazing and wonderful. I am so super excited to have this beautiful lady, an amazing lady with me tonight. So allow me to introduce my guest, Miss Jordan Ray. How are you doing today, Miss Ray?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I am doing well, and I tell you, I'm so super excited to have you on the show with me this evening, and I know you're just going to bless us with your testimony and your journey, and I must say I'm just amazed with the background story, and I just want my listeners to hear all about it. So just tell us your journey and your story.
Sure. Again, thank you for having me. So I'll kind of go from the beginning. I was born in Davie, Florida, so South Florida, born and raised, and I moved up to Wellington, Florida when I was 3 years old, and around 3.5, 4, my parents saw I had so much energy, and they were like, oh, we need to put her in something, a sport, get the energy out when you're 4 years old. So they put me in softball, and my first practice, I just instantly fell in love with it at 4 years old. And I knew this is what I wanted to do as long as I possibly could. And when I got a little bit older, I started really zoning in on the vision, and my vision was to be a D1 college athlete. And around age 8, we committed to an elite travel team, and we started traveling throughout the United States. And at this point, it wasn't just my dream or my goal anymore to be a D1 athlete. It was my whole family's goal, because our lives revolved around me and this sport. Wow. So, like I said, it was very competitive. It was an elite level. I had practice daily. I had tournaments every single weekend. Looking back, I think I maybe only had 1 to 2 weekends free per year, and that was just holidays. That's it.
Wow.
So to kind of go into the story and the background of me, I continued playing softball. I'd never played any other sport, just stuck with that. And I get to high school. I faced some adversity going into high school. I ended up having ankle surgery when I was 13, 14 years old. And the reason I had the surgery is because I wanted to continue this career. So I get to my sophomore year. I just had an incredible freshman year. I was 16. My mom gets diagnosed with breast cancer. And that is kind of the age where you understand, but you don't understand at the same time. And I was pretty much at my peak of my sport now. I'm starting to get a lot of views from colleges, and we're getting some requests to start touring universities. So I was finally achieving my dream, but I was just so terrified every day with what my mom was going through and what could possibly happen. And so she, thank God, goes into remission a year and like 2 months later. And this was now my junior year of high school, and I was 17. 2 weeks after she went into remission, we started touring a few of the universities I spoke about. 2 weeks after we came back, I ended up blacking out unexpectedly on the softball field. During my junior year, it was a high school game, and the blackout was caused because my cerebrospinal fluid, oxygen, and blood was blocked to my brain as I was running to field a bunt that I fielded hundreds of times successfully. So going on from there, we kind of had no clue what just happened. And you know, a lot of people actually just thought, oh, Jordan just fell again, because I was very clumsy. And that's kind of what I thought as well. And, you know, to keep the long story short, I know you'll have some questions on it, but this happened in April 13th of 2015. In August, I was sitting in a neurosurgeon's office. I've just experienced 50 migraines straight, and now I'm going into my senior year of high school. I got diagnosed with something called Chiari malformation. It's a serious neurological disorder where my brain tissue extends into my spinal canal, so my cerebellum. And I was actually born with this illness, and we never knew that. So going from there, I was still 17. I got the diagnosis, and my neurosurgeon said to me, get ready, kid, you're having brain surgery. And we scheduled it for December 1st, 2015. And I'm 21 now, and I'm still battling this illness. I'm running my company to help others, but, you know, it's still a struggle. There's no cure for this illness. So it's just taking it day by day. That's what I'm doing. So that's kind of a little bit of the story. I know it's not the full thing, but it's a good amount.
Yes. And I tell you, I'm listening to you, Miss Jordan, and I'm like, wow. And you are pretty young. You're what, 21 years old?
Yeah.
I tell you, that's a lot. That's a lot for a young person to endure and to go through. But I tell you, you're a miracle and you're a living testimony. And you're stating that you have this business that you're helping others as well.
Mm-hmm.
And even with this, you're helping to make a difference, and that's what it's all about. Because sometimes when we go through so many things, we think, well, you know, why me? Why am I going through this? Why is this happening to me? But you know what? Sometimes God allows things to happen to us so that we can be that testimony for somebody else, so that we can make the difference, so we can start to make a change, and then we can help others that are going through the same thing that we're going through. And you, I tell you, you're a strong young lady, and you, with your voice, you just sound like you're just so like, wow, you know, even though I went through that, I'm still going. I'm still moving forward. Yes, indeed, and that's a blessing. That's a blessing in itself. Miss Ray, I do want to ask you as well about your business. Now, we're going on through all that. We know what the background and your actual vision for your company was because of what you went through. Now, how has it been that you're a founder and CEO, oh my goodness, of the Limitless Medical Logs? Now, what is this company about? What do you do?
Sure. So back to the story, I mean, based on my personal experiences, I actually saw the need for the product, which is a medical log for patients like myself battling a chronic health issue. So I saw the need for this all-in-one medical log when my mom got diagnosed. I saw her going to her appointments, and she was really struggling between the doctor's appointments and all the treatments she was doing. And I had the idea, I'm like, there needs to be something where you can accurately track and document what's been going on. So when you go back to your physician or whoever you're seeing the treatment, you're able to accurately tell them precise information about how you've been doing from, let's say, Monday to Monday, 3 months ago, a year ago, where it now eliminates the guessing game between you, physician, even caregivers. So, but I was 16 and I was actually, like I said, at my prime for softball. I'm like, I'm not creating a company. I'm not doing that. So then when my health failed, I really saw the need for it because I was like, there needs to be something like this. And at first I was like, there has to be something like this already. And I did research. I looked for a log, and I couldn't find where it's an all-in-one. Our medical logs last a whole year, so you don't have to every 3 months get a new one. And there's a reason that it's a journal or a diary type, because when you can write down right away, instead of putting it in a device that might shut down, might not have service to work, when you can accurately write it on a piece of paper right away, it does something to you. It's very therapeutic, and you don't have to worry and stress, oh, I have to write this down, I have to put this somewhere. It's right there if you have your medical log with you.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome because a lot of people have different types of illnesses, and sometimes even now when you go to the doctor, your doctors are automatically asking, what are the symptoms you're having? What's been going on up until why coming to visit the doctor? What are the symptoms that you've had, and what's been going on with you? And it's good even when you don't know. I would love that. That is awesome because a lot of people don't think to do that, to even keep a log.
Exactly.
Sometimes even with their medicine, doctors now they're asking what kind of medicines are you taking. You have to keep a list of those types of medicines and the names of those medicines. How often are you taking them, and what are you taking them for, and what are the after effects of those medicines. This is awesome, Ms. Ray. I tell you, you are just amazing.
Thank you. And it's very important to have like the list of medication and certain things. That's kind of the whole point of it. When I first got the idea for it, I was like, everybody needs to have one. And you hit it on the nail where people don't think to have something like this. So that's where I want to get these logs in the hands of everybody. So, because I actually get a lot where people say, I wish I had this when I was going through something. So now I want to try to get the logs out there so people don't have to stress. I believe everything happens for a reason, and I was set to be a D1 athlete, and I always say that my sport molded me into the person I am today. I'm very caring, I'm very hardworking, and I want to help others, and that's kind of the whole point of the company, and I'm just so grateful for it. Like you said, why me in the beginning? I can't lie, there was months where I was just so frustrated and I didn't understand what was going on, but now I understand.
Yes. And even when you were a little girl at 4 years old and is having this passion for the game, and you're not even knowing why, but God just puts things in our hearts. We don't know why, and it's leading to different things. But He gives us the grace to go through all of that. And with you having all these surgeries, I think you're saying that you had major 9-hour brain surgery. And that's major. That's major. And so with your mother going through what she went through and then going through what you went through as well, your strength, how's your strength now?
It's very good, but again, I'm not going to lie, the past few weeks I've kind of in a way gotten sicker. So it gets frustrating, but like I said, I think in the beginning I said I just take it day by day. So I mean, I'm a very strong person, and I always say my mom's illness, her and I made each other stronger. So my parents are my rock, and they've been just a huge support. So right now my strength is pretty good. The company's good. So that kind of gets me out of bed every morning. Softball, I would jump out of bed knowing that it was game day or I'd practice. I don't have that anymore, but I have the company, and that gets me out of bed every morning.
Yes. And I tell you, it's just a gifting that you have, and God already knew He was going to lead you to doing what you're doing today, and that is such an amazing blessing because you're a blessing to other people. You're a blessing to other people. Now, before we leave the show, I do want you to give us some encouraging words, Ms. Jordan, about, you're just an amazing blessing. Someone out there needed to hear this today. and someone may be going through, and someone may need this limitless medical log that you've come up with and founded. Give us some
Right.
inspiration tonight.
There's actually a quote that I look at every single day, and I know that might be a little too much, but it's the same quote, and it's, the struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. And that is just so true for me, and even that would be very true for someone else, like you said, that could be going through something. And, you know, what I've been trying to do is kind of, in a way, use my platform to show others that it's okay to share your story. It's okay to feel vulnerable, because I was afraid to. I was afraid to share my story. I was afraid to cry, because when you're an athlete, you put dirt on it and you keep going. There's no crying. So that quote is, I look at it every single day, and just share your story, get it out there, talk about it. I mean, I love when I get messages on Instagram and people send me emails and Facebook, and they just thank me for sharing my story, because I've been able to help them. And it does something to me when someone can say that and say I'm an inspiration.
Yes, and you know, I always say on this show that everybody has a story. We all have a past. We all have something that we've gone through. So we all have a story, and we are a testimony to that story. So God just gives us things in our hearts, and he places things in our lives that, okay, well, my story may not be like your story, but I have one, and that is glorious. And I'm so thankful for you, Miss Ray, for your testimony. So it's just been a blessing. I'm just hearing and reading a lot about you, and I'm just praying that God would continue to bless you, to bless others. And as you continue on this journey, I do want our listeners to also know about how they can keep in touch with you. There may be someone that's in your area that needs to know about this limitless medical logs that you have. Let us know where they can reach you and in social media handles.
Sure thing. My website is www.limitlessmedicallogs.com. My social media, Instagram, Jordan Ray 25, JORDANRAY 25. I think Twitter's the same. And then for Facebook, I have a company business page, which is Limitless Medical Logs. Same with Instagram and any platform. And also, you can send a message on the website, or even on my social media. Send me a message that way, and I will get back to you. It might take me a little bit of time, but I will respond to you. Awesome, amazing young lady. I tell you, I have been truly blessed this evening with your testimony and your insight, and you speak so well. You're very mature for your age, I must say that. And to my listeners, I did forget to let you all know that she is a Wellington Homes hero. In her hometown. So that is awesome. That is so awesome. And you're going to do so much more. I just believe that within my spirit, you're going to do so much more. And I can't wait to hear everything else that you're doing in the different projects. Now, do you have any other projects that you're working on, anything else future-wise? It's actually funny that you bring that up. I am writing a book. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. I started it about 3 weeks ago, and I'm hoping to get it out there 2020. So, but yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up, because I did forget to announce that. Awesome. And maybe we have to have you back on the show again so we can talk about your book and the vision behind the book, and we can share that and get you some sales with that as well. From author to author, I really send my blessings to you, and I know what it's like starting a book, and you just continue to do what you're doing. Continue to do what you're doing, and continue to be a blessing. I thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Wow, listeners, this has been an amazing show tonight, and we should take note that we all have a story, and God is an amazing God. I pray that each of you have been blessed tonight. To God be the glory for my guest tonight. Remember, don't just count your blessings, but be the blessing you want others to see. Until next time, everyone have a good night, and God bless.